It is Thursday, June 23rd, and we're out here on the Waterbrook campus. It happens to be closed today because they're doing some pretty high-skilled work here today with a crane on the property and stuff. And we're going to find out what exactly is going on the campus today as they continue the work in the reconstruction from the storm damage that occurred back in April. And I am here standing with my friend and our project manager on behalf of Waterbrook, Bert Schmiesing. Am I right on that, Bert?
Right.
Okay, all right. Make sure I say it right. And so we just have a few questions about what's going on here today. What are they doing here today?
They're lifting the material for the roof with a crane up on the roofs to store it up there on both the 100 and the 200 building at this present time.
Okay, so they brought in today a crane. And how many crews, how many guys are here actually on the property right now with all these crews?
With basically there's about 12 of them right here, right now.
Okay. And so they're lifting these pieces up, and this truck has roof panels for both the 100 and 200, the new 200 building. Both are being completely replaced.
That is correct.
Okay. Why did we close the campus today? For the same reason we're probably wearing hard hats.
Safety hats, yeah. We want safety because you never know when people come out. And of course, when you bring out construction, everybody's curious. They get in the way of people and all that other, and we'd rather have them safe than anything happen.
And even for us to be here on campus right now, we're wearing the hard hats and we're abiding by the rules that they've got in place for safety, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And how many hours do you think this takes? Because we saw them put the crane together, and that was probably, what, an hour's worth of work there alone just before they even started moving anything.
Well, that was an hour out here to set up to move the material. It took another half hour out front of here just to get the crane all set up ready to move around to here.
Okay, so, and they're not moving fast, but that's for safety purposes.
That is correct. They make sure everything is perfectly safe and ready to go, and everything is aligned before they touch anything.
Okay. Well, Bert, you're a volunteer here for Waterbrook and been doing this, but you came, I mean, you're retired now, in theory, which is why we snagged you. But you have lots of years experience with all this kind of stuff, right?
I have some years experience with it, yes. Well, they're cautiously and very slowly lifting up the material to make sure that it doesn't bend in place. And then they will pick it up if it's all right and swing it to the 200 building, I assume, right now. And you can see there's a slight bow in it, but nothing that's bad enough to cause any wrinkles or anything. So that's where it's going.
And that's why they have those two triangles below, because they want to have enough straps to pick it all up and make sure it doesn't bend, right?
That is correct. If you notice, they got 4 straps on it on the bottom side of that at equal distance away, and that'll keep it from bending and so forth. And if you notice the man down there in the orange, he's got what they refer to as a tag line, so he can direct that so he can swing it around to where they need to be. And he'll probably be swinging it around here in just a few minutes so it goes flat on the roof where they want it at.
Now there are 2 different sizes of panels all wrapped together on that truck. Is that because the 2 roofs are actually 2 different sizes then?
Yes, sir. There's 2 different sizes on there. The long one's right there for information purposes, 89 foot long. And the truck had a lot of fun trying to get it in through here in this area situation. They had to jump the curb and come in between 2 trees out off of Thomas Street out there.
Okay, well, we'll check that damage a little later.
They said they'll bring in a bobcat to take care of it. And the first thing our other supervisor here did was go over and look at the sidewalk to see if they had to buy a sidewalk for us.
I talked to that driver, and he's from Houston, and boy, he said the drive from Houston is quite a treat. And of course, he had a truck behind him because it's a wide load, so
right.
There's a vehicle to help. And it is a good reminder that just be very careful when you're driving around those great big trailers. That there's a reason they've got the flags and an extra vehicle, because it does become dangerous for cars who cut them off and stuff.
That's right. Most tractor trailers, the trailers alone are usually only 63 foot. And as you can see, this one here is close to 90 foot right there. So it makes a lot of difference when you turn.
And so there's a crew up on top of the roof, and they will now unhook it from all the straps that are on it. And then that will stay up there until the roofing crew gets here next week and actually starts to change out the roof, right?
That is correct, yes. They're just going to station everything up there. That way it's out of the way from the ground. And, you know, we don't have any problems with people walking off with it or walking on it or damaging it in any way. And they're out of sight, out of mind for us as far as Waterbrook. But it's up there for the roofers when they crawl up to do it.
And so they'll start that next week, and that process is supposed to take, they're budgeting 2 to 3 weeks to get all of the roofs on both buildings replaced completely, and then the buildings sort of reset. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And that doesn't mean all the painting will be done and flooring and all that, but the roofs should be done.